year. So Techlytics is a workforce development and consulting organization. We're dedicated to empowering ambitious professionals and organizations with the essential skills needed to thrive in this ever-evolving world of technology. We have a strong focus on preparing professionals for the future of work, and we have successfully trained and mentored more than 3,000 fellows across various educational technology institutions and corporate settings, such as GlaxoSmithKline, Utiva, InnovaLab, Treford, and Eco Innovation School. We have specialized training programs that primarily revolve around data analytics, low or no code development. Techlytics, as a consulting company, offers tech consulting to startups and enterprises alike on digital transformation. We have worked with brands like Intense Digital Marketing, Leadway, and Gasco Marine. Now, about Bit and Bytes. Bit and Bytes is an engaging and enlightening monthly tech series hosted by seasoned professionals such as Omo today. And this series delves into the world of technology as it decodes complex concepts. We explore cutting-edge trends, and we offer insights on artificial intelligence, data, software product management, and documentation, no or low-code software development. So this is our team. We are led by Oluwatayo Winkule. Oluwatayo is an ex-banker, a certified safe professional. We have product manager, another product manager, Jadida, and myself. We also have Adenike Adeyeye, who is a data analyst. Now, let's meet Omo. Omo Salvation is an experienced product leader who specializes in driving product vision and strategies for businesses. His professional experiences building products cut across several industries such as insurance, banking, social investment, fintech, and currently is working in the automotive industry. I'd like to, really know how that is going. Omo also volunteers as a product management mentor, helping to guide junior product managers and people looking at pivoting into the product management space so that they can have a smooth transition and a progressive career. So budding PMs on this call, aspiring PMs, you are most welcome. I'm sure Omo is going to share with us, nuggets from years of experience. Salvation has also crafted product strategies for companies such as Great Nigerian Insurance PLC, Venture Garden Group, and InterSwitch. He is currently a senior product manager at Exad, Germany. Welcome to Bits and Bytes, Omo.
Yeah, thank you, Biodun. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So today we are going to be talking about product strategy. We are going to learn lessons from successful products. I'm sure you have a lot to say about that. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you once again, Biodun, and then of course Tayo and the entire Techlytics team for having me here. I just have one comment. You guys need to maybe probably introduce one guy into your
we
team,
actually
because
have a
that
guy.
looks like a all-female team. Okay, so gender equality.
We are not an all-female team. Our graphics designer, Oluwafemi, is not on this call right now, but we have a graphics designer, and he's a guy. So we are equal. There's equal representation on the team, almost equal. Right?
Yes, it has to be equal. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I will share my screen momentarily.
All right, then.
Just start talking about what we have today. So you can let me know when you see my screen over there.
I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So this evening, I will be talking about product strategy and then trying to give us a practical approach to developing a product strategy, okay? Because there are a lot of approaches, okay? Just like the way we don't think the same way. So that's the way products also is, okay? So it's dynamic, okay? But there's an approach that I think if you listen well today, if you can put it into practice, it will help you to always craft product strategy in any organization or any team or any industry that you find yourself. Okay, I will move ahead from, of course, my bio. Biodun, I've already shared my bio. Currently, I work in the automobile industry, but previously, from before then, I've worked in other industries too, like insurance, fintech, and banking, just like Biodun mentioned. This evening, I would start with why do we have or why do we need product strategy? Okay, so I'll first start with why do we even need strategy? Okay, because strategy is an everyday thing that we do in life. Okay, so even taking away products. Okay, so strategy, what is strategy? Like for me now, I might say, okay, I want to have a fantastic summer. I want to have a fantastic summer. So that is like my vision. Okay, we are
Yeah.
currently in winter time right now. I think winter is rounding up. We are moving to spring. Okay, but I already have a vision that I want to have a fantastic winter. Okay, so having that vision that I want to have a fantastic winter, then I now start to craft goals. Okay, that okay, fine. I want to have my summer in the Maldives. Okay, now my vision is I want to have a fantastic summer. Then the goal is I want to have my summer in the Maldives. Okay, so how do I tie my vision to my goal? Okay, then I need to start building what we call strategy. Now, okay, fine. Do I need to check up on the flight tickets? Do I need to research about if I can get the cheapest flight ticket? If I don't need the cheapest flight ticket, okay, can I get a one flight or maybe probably a layover? Okay, I now begin to ask or research about Maldives. Okay, that okay, is there any security concern in Maldives? Okay, can I move around in the night? So all those questions that I'm asking, I'll be getting answers to them. Okay, why do I need to ask all those questions and why do I need answers so that I can have a fantastic summer and have my summer in Maldives? Okay, so it's not just picking up my bags and then go. Okay, because if I don't do all those things, if I just pick up my bags and jump on the plane and get to Maldives, I might have to be dealing with security issues, or I might not end up having that fantastic summer. Okay, so that's how it is for product too. Okay, beyond execution, that okay, fine, I just want to ship out products or features. I just want to do everyday development. Okay, what is guiding you to building that? Okay, so that is what we call product strategy. Okay, and then every product person, okay, every product person on a product team, okay, especially the product manager, okay, the ultimate goal for us, okay, is to build the right product.
Yes.
That's the first one, build the right products, okay, that of course the market will respond positively to, okay, and then we make the customers happy and then make our stakeholders happy. Those are the three ultimate goals. All the goals that we set for our products, or maybe probably all the strategy that we set, what we want to achieve are these three things, okay, whether we are shipping out a little feature, okay, or just remedying something on our screen. Okay, all boils down to these uh, three main goals. Okay, and you can't do those three main goals, okay, without having a good product strategy, and that's why I try to put this kind of infographic there. Okay, that product strategy is actually the center, okay, of making all these three things work. Okay, so the market needs, okay, you are launching a product or a feature into a market, and then the market is responding positively to it, okay, is your product strategy. Okay, you are releasing innovations, you are releasing features, you are releasing whatnot, and the customers are happy. Okay, they are coming back to your platform, they are buying more of your
Yes.
products. Is product strategy, okay, and then your corporate guys too, okay, your stakeholders, whether it's finance, because of course revenue is coming in, finance is happy, everybody are getting paid, the CEO is happy, every other stakeholders, even your product team, okay, you are happy, is centered to product strategy. Okay, so we must not forget about product strategy and just executing. Otherwise, you will ship out products and then you will see the impact. And then at the end of the day, you are frustrated as a product manager or product owner or a product analyst or a product person in a team, okay? And that frustration, of course, is transcended into a bigger thing, okay? The whole company also is frustrated. So you need to find a way to do your product strategy. And that is the reason why we are doing product strategy. Now, what is actually a product strategy? Okay, like I mentioned with the analogy that I gave about the summer vacation, okay, it's like a series of plan. It's not actually a plan, okay, so you can't call it a plan, okay, but by the time you craft it out, okay, you will see it like a plan. Okay, so it's just more like an high level roadmap. Okay, so it's not a roadmap. Okay, it's just more like an high level. So the way you see roadmap, whereby you see your features or your epics or whatnot on the roadmap, that's how the product strategy is also. Okay, but instead of seeing all these your features or epics or what you want to develop in a roadmap, in strategy, what you see is the opportunity, okay, the opportunity and the solutions you are building. That's what your strategy is, because that is what you are going to decompose into your roadmap. Okay, so the way it is
Mm.
that you have your vision, okay, and then
Yeah.
over your vision, under your vision, you have your strategy, and then under your strategy, you have the opportunity and solutions, and then you break that down into the features, epics, and everything, and then you break that down into what you execute day in, day out. So that's why we call it a comprehensive plan. Okay. So, and then I want you to take note of that comprehensive. That means that it doesn't come in something that you do in one day. That is why it's comprehensive. Okay. And then it has to be also be detailed. Okay. So what you do in this next steps that I'm going to show you have to also be detailed. That's why it is actually a comprehensive plan. Okay. So it includes all the product vision, okay, even the company vision, okay, because you have to, in a way,
Yes.
understand the company vision to tie it into it, okay. Some of the insights you get from gathering requirements year and year, gathering information, okay, the challenges, the problem that you see, okay, the approaches, okay, how do you practicalize this? How do you make the selection to make sure you are building the right thing, okay, and then the accountability, okay, that is setting the goals, okay, fine. We've known that this is the vision, this is what we want to go. Okay, now set the goals, okay, the parameters. Okay, so that you can score those goals against the OKRs that you build for your product. Okay, so it's like a book, okay, that have different pages. Okay, so but what I've done here is to craft out 5 steps that can help you to actually achieve or build a good product strategy. Like I mentioned, there are different ways. Okay, so in products, there's nothing like a one size fits all. Okay, so but in my years of experience, I've discovered that okay, if you follow this pattern, okay, it's easier for you. Okay, it's easier for you to actually get your product strategy out. Okay, and then just to mention before we go into those steps also, because it's a comprehensive plan, doesn't mean it can't also change. Okay, it's a strategy. Okay, so along the line, okay, you might figure that okay, fine, maybe you need to change your strategy. Okay, so it can always change. Okay, so it's not always cast in stone. Okay, so you can always iterate on your strategy. Okay, but if you iterate too much on your strategy, then it becomes an execution level thing. That means you need to go back to where you started from. That means you don't have a good strategy. Okay, so you don't iterate on your strategy too much. Okay, it's not on the execution level. Okay, but of course you can iterate maybe probably maybe say every 6 months or every biannually. Okay, you can just iterate and see okay if that direction still fits into your product vision, okay, and overall the company vision. Now let's move ahead. So the step one, okay, is of course gathering information. Okay, so as it is with everything that you do in life, okay, you gather information. Okay, so if I need to maybe probably so let me put on a lighter note now. Maybe probably I like someone, okay. I like someone, I like a lady, okay, and then I'm looking at maybe probably having maybe probably having a relationship with the lady. I have to gather information about her. I'm not just going to walk up to her and talk and do that, okay. So I have to gather information. So that is how it is. And going back to just the first analogy that I gave about the vacation too, I have to gather information on where I am going to. Okay, so that is why we always have the first step in everything products, actually, in everything products, whether you are building right now, okay, so we call it requirement gathering when you are building on the execution stage. So you have to gather information. So for product strategy, what type of information do you need to gather? Okay, so there are specific information. You are not on the execution phase. Okay, so there are specific information you have to gather. So I've tried to put this into a table, okay, into like three buckets, some definition information, some results, and some external information, okay, across company, customers, products. Remember the first slide that I shared, okay, the ultimate goal of a product manager, product owner, product analyst, any person product, okay, is to build the right products. So you have to gather information on your existing product or your supposed new products that you want to develop. Okay, so definitely there's nothing new. So you have to put that also in mind. There's nothing new. If you have an idea, it's either someone has built it before or someone have done some research on it. Okay, so there's nothing actually new. So there's this quote I found out on the internet that said that every development or every product that has been built in the last 50 years, okay, actually an innovation of something that has already been existing. Okay, so it's just an innovation, even from the computer, the personal computer. So we have this mainframe then in the early 19th century. Okay, so they just innovate. Okay, so but from the innovation, okay, you can create something new. Okay, but if you look at the roots, okay, it has always been there. Okay, so your product, you have to gather information on your product. What type of information do you gather on your product? So your product vision, that's the first thing, okay, because that is the topmost high level information about your product. Okay, so if you are supporting any product today, you should be able to say offhand your product vision. Okay, you should be able to tell stakeholders or your product team your product vision. So every successful product, even the failed product, always have a product vision. Okay, because that is what will drive you to say, okay, this is what we want to develop. So you must get your product vision. Actually, there's another type of framework or development for product vision. Okay, so it's not something that you just write down. Okay, so you can look at product vision, maybe 2, 3, 4 lines. Okay, but it's not actually just writing it down. Okay, so there are sets of framework to get to that product vision. Okay, but I think maybe probably Tayo and the team, Abiodun and the team can create some other sessions, okay, with other people or other facilitator or just to teach you guys on product vision also. So when you get to product vision, uh, that is one of the information. Another information is the product KPIs. Okay, so you need to set KPIs, of course, for your products, whether it is an existing product or a new product you want to build. Okay, so there'll always be some key performance indicator that you want to look at. Okay, and then a benchmark. Okay, so you want to benchmark it maybe to some other product that is already existing. Okay, or maybe probably to a particular market, right? And then on customers too. Okay, so you need to focus, okay, what segments of these customers are we looking for? Okay, so what demographic? Okay, all those things. Okay, the needs. Okay, then the feedback also. You can gather all these things online too. If it's a new product, okay, maybe probably, for example, I want to build a social media platform that will look like TikTok. Okay, it's a new product for me as a product manager or as a company. Techlytics. We want to build a platform that looks like TikTok. It's a new product for us, but that space is not new. Okay, so I can go online, go do field research. Okay, I can talk to people, I can gather feedback from people using TikTok today. Okay, and other competitive competitions. Okay, so those are the feedback that we are talking about for new product. For existing product, I can ask my customers, okay, get feedback. Okay, there are a lot of ways to get feedback. Okay, I'm not going to delve into that. Okay, then customer research. Okay, so research about the customers. Okay, what are the demographics, like I mentioned. Okay, so and then the company too. You have to get information about the company. So I wrote vision and mission there. Okay, vision is where you are going, okay, what you hope to achieve, okay, and then mission is what you are doing every day to achieve that, okay, what you are doing every day to achieve that. So that's just the difference between vision and mission. So I color coded vision because this is what you actually need, okay, but it also makes sense for you to understand what the company is doing day into day, okay, for you to understand the mission also. It helps, okay, but actually that's not entirely what you need. Okay, what you need is the vision, okay, and make sure that your product vision keys into the company vision, okay. Of course, you set KPIs for the company also. You don't have to set that. Other stakeholders will set it, but just make sure that, okay, those KPIs that the companies are trying to meet up with, okay, you are not setting your product KPIs are far from it, because if the company is going in one direction and you are building a product that is going in the other direction, at the end of the day, that is a disaster in the waiting. So you will launch and then you won't get any return on investment. Okay, so and that's one of the reasons, okay, not the main reason, one of the reasons why most product fails. Okay, then of course get industry reports. Okay, like I mentioned, giving the example of getting into the social space. Okay, I want to build a product that looks like TikTok. I have to go to the online, search for industry reports. Okay, maybe probably in the last year, in the last 4 years, how is the revenue looking like in that space? Okay, the customer base, how is it looking like? Who in this social media companies has the most market size? Okay, all those things you have to get them so that you can know your competitor and then get all those information. So there are a lot of information. You do dex research, you do field research, also depending on the product that you are dealing with. Then after gathering all this information, like I mentioned, it's not a day's job, okay, it's not a week's job, okay, it's something that you do continuously until you get to the final stage where you have your product strategy. The next thing you need to do is to draw out insights. Okay, you have series of information. Okay, of course, those information will be like noise everywhere. Okay, you have information filled up in your folders. You have information in your diary. Okay, you've jotted some things down. You've gotten feedback from customers. A lot of information. Then you've seen problems. Okay, problems people are facing or customers are facing. You've seen challenges. Okay, and then you've seen the positive side too. Okay, because your insight is going to cut across different things, from the problems to the trends to the opportunity that is even in it. Okay, so there are some tools you can use, okay, to also generate this insight from the information you gather. I'll talk about all those at the later part of the presentation, right? So generating insight also comes with your experience. Okay, so for me now, if I have a series of information that I've gathered, okay, if I'm looking at the information firsthand, the way I will generate insights quickly will be different from someone that's just starting product management. Okay, so and then what I will see will be different from what another person will see. Okay, so sometimes it comes with experience, generating the right insights. Okay, it comes with experience. That's why it's also good to also have some sets of tools or framework, okay, at your corner to use at every step in product management. Okay, so there are a lot of tools that you can use for anything that you are doing. Okay, it's just to help you, and then with time, your experience gets better and better and better. But what you just need to do is just bring out as much as possible insights that you can generate from that. Because right here, you are trying to move from, okay, you have information of like 100 things, okay, and then what are the things that I can guess from these 100 things? So you are not selecting, you are just, whether it is bad, it's good, you are just generating all those insights and then you are storing them out. So after generating insights, the next thing you need to do is make selection. Okay, because you are not going to build everything. Okay, for example, like the example that I mentioned in this infographic right now. Okay, so it's an example for a grocery delivery service. Okay, so it's a platform, okay, that's of course delivers groceries. You go on the platform and then you select the grocery that you want and then they deliver to you, right? And then you are trying to build a product strategy or refine your product strategy in this way. Okay. And then you go out, you gather information, the first step that we did. Okay. And then you have series of insights. Okay. So in this example, we are assuming that we have three insights. Okay. We have insights of fresh products. Okay. That means that people actually want fresh products. Okay, there are some set of people that is just what they want. Okay, so and then maybe probably on the platform right now we don't have selection for fresh products, though we deliver fresh products. Okay, so maybe probably we just mix it up. Okay, maybe probably someone came and said, okay, they want tomato, they want vegetable, they want plantain. Okay, and then maybe probably they want apple. Okay, and then we just go to the store. Okay, we pick apple. Okay, apple from maybe a week, banana from 2 days, and then vegetable from today. Okay, and then maybe another thing from yesterday. But of course, there's fresh product there, there's vegetable. Okay, but everything is not fresh. Okay, so maybe probably we need to create a particular section on the platform whereby people can select fresh products. Okay, this is part of the insights you generated. Okay, so you did not come up with it. Okay, it's part of the information you gathered. Okay? You generated another insight that there is need to be more store connection. Maybe probably there are some feedback from customers. Okay, that's there are just few stores, okay, around, okay, or maybe probably there's too much of price hike on your product, okay, and then already that, okay, fine, if you have multiple stores, okay, there will be price competition, okay, so which we already break down or bring down the pricing of the product, okay, and then you generated another insight that, okay, people feel that, okay, since I'm ordering grocery, okay, I can as well order already made food. Okay, so why can't I use this platform? Okay, so maybe probably I want a lunch that is already cooked, and then I want to cook in the dinner. Okay, so why do I need to come to this platform? Okay, and then order groceries, which I will cook in dinner. Okay, and then go to another platform. Okay, to do maybe probably order food from a restaurant. Okay, so from those uh, feedback and then those industry reports and all those information that you have gathered, this is another insight for you. Okay, so that is just an example. So this example is saying we have three insights, and that is how you are going to have multiple insights. You might have 20 sets of insights, you can have 30 insights different. So when you are generating your insights, you are just jotting them down, jotting them down, jotting them down. So when you need to make the selection from this example that we gave right now, okay, so you could see the key solutions, okay, which are the three, and then you could see some text that I wrote in black, okay, which are the goals, or maybe probably the assumption, okay, that I am making for these solutions. That, okay, fine, if we are to do a fresh product selection, okay, this will actually rapidly increase our sales for current users, okay, at least for groceries, okay, the current users right now, maybe probably they will buy more, okay, if they know that, okay, fine, they are buying fresh, okay, so it's an assumption, okay, so you generate all those assumptions around your insight just to make sure that you are selecting the right insight, okay, so and then you could see that, okay, fine, if I want to cross sell, okay, I can actually do a restaurant deliveries as part of my platform. Okay, so I have a grocery delivery, I have a restaurant delivery. So if people come onto my platform, they can do the both. Okay, and then I can cross-sell to the existing users. Okay, but will it bring new users? It might bring, it might not bring. Okay, so you need to maybe probably kind of dive more into the data. And then I will show you an infographic at the end of the presentation also that lets you know that information generation, okay, does not stop at the first step. Okay, in this third step of selection, you can always go back. Okay, just like what I mentioned now, I want to cross sell. Of course, I'm cross selling to my existing users. Okay, so if I do restaurant delivery also, but can this also bring new users? Okay, so I might need to look for that information to be able to make sure. Because what about the product strategy is that you have to also be at least maybe 80 to 90% sure of what you want to do. Okay, so there's nothing like 100% sure, okay, because a strategy also can fail, okay, but at least you must have like 80% uh, sure of what you are building. Okay, so that is how selection is. Okay, so you just have a list of insights, okay, and then you select the ones that you think you can move ahead. Okay, so you are not doing prioritization right now. Okay, you are not doing prioritization. You are just selecting the one that you want to key into your strategy. Okay, remember you cannot attend to every insight. Okay, and then every insight might not necessarily key into your product vision. Okay, so remember your product strategy when you are doing it, you are also thinking about your product vision. That is why an insight or an opportunity that you see on in this selection phase might look good, okay, but it might not actually key into a product vision, okay, which in turn did not key into the product, into the company vision. So if you go ahead and build that type of opportunity, that type of solution, if you see it as an opportunity and build that type of solution, you will not be able to get a return on investment, okay, because you are not playing in the space of that opportunity or of that solution, okay, because it is away from the product vision. So that's what you do here, okay, and then you can see what is expected, okay, you just decide the few insights, okay, from all the insights that you get that will impact, okay, so that will impact on your results. Okay, so you look at those three things that I mentioned: making the customer happy, making the stakeholders happy, and then impacting on the market. Okay, so just generate the few ones, select the few ones, and then you move ahead to the step 4. Now, for step 4 is creating assumptions and goals. Okay, so now because it's a product strategy, you just look at, okay, fine, I have all these nice things. You don't know if it will work. Okay, so and that is some of the sad thing sometimes in product. Okay, so it will look like you got everything right. Okay, everything is fine, and then you guys develop, and then you launch, and then 1 month, 2 months, the product is slow in the market, is not achieving the KPIs that you have set for it, and it's looking like everything is failing. Okay, the reason that is so is that you cannot control strategy. You can control the planning of strategy, but you can't control strategy itself, because strategy is controlled by external forces. Okay, and that is why when you started in the step 4, you went to gather information. Okay, you went to gather information outside. Okay, you could see in the third column in the first slide that I shared, there's external. Okay, so that is why some people, when they do their product strategy, they do what we call strategic planning. Okay, so they try to merge planning and strategy together. Okay, but no matter how you do that, also there's a little part of strategy that you can control. Okay, what you can control, the part of strategy you can control is just the planning, okay, and then all these things that we have mentioned so far, okay. But on the outcome of the strategy, that okay, fine, whether it's going to be successful or not, okay, is gray, okay. But if you do all these things well, there's high chance, okay, there's like on a scale of 0 to 10, okay, at least for 6, 7, 8, your strategy will work. Okay, but of course, there's a little bit of uh, maybe probably luck that can happen to your strategy. Okay, so that's why you have to also make assumptions. Okay, so that's why you are making assumptions, because you are training into the market. You don't know how the market will react to it, and you don't know how the customers is going to react to it too. So you create your assumptions and goals. So here, you can use some kind of this table, okay, create the opportunity. The opportunity is just the insight that you have selected, okay. So, those are the top things, okay. So those are the insights you are selected, like the previous slide that we've seen, okay. So we selected maybe probably 3 opportunities, okay. Maybe probably we want to do those 3 opportunities, for example, okay, and then we list those 3 opportunities in the opportunity column. Those are the insights, just the selected insight. Then you have the targets. Okay, your target is your goal. Okay, so that's the goal. That's what you want to do. Okay, that's your target, is your goal. So you put your goal. It's just like your maybe probably your KPI, not actually metric. Okay, it's just a KPI. Okay, and then you have your assumptions. Okay, in the example that I put here, okay, you can see the first opportunity here. I said, okay, provide more information after checkout. Okay, now this is an insight that we got from all the information that we have gathered, okay, and then we've seen that, okay, maybe probably people are calling the customer service. The infrastructure is working well, okay, maybe probably people check out, and then you say, okay, fine, successful transaction, okay, and then maybe probably on the example that we gave, the grocery delivery service, maybe their grocery is not delivered on time. Maybe probably that's the first example of problem that we see in the information we gathered. Okay, and then that makes them call customer service center as much as often. Okay, maybe probably their grocery is delivered, but maybe it's not as fresh, or maybe something is messed up. Okay, but you could see that from the inside, these people are performing this transaction, but they are still calling the customer service, okay, based on already completed transactions. Okay, so maybe we need to provide more information after checkout. When you click OK, and then it gives you your transaction is successful, maybe there's an information page or something, okay, based on the problem that you have seen, okay, and then you set a target, okay, it's a strategy, okay. So just like vision, it's not something that has happened. Just like the example we gave, okay, the analogy. I want to have a fantastic summer. We are in winter going to sprint right now. We have not summer, I think summer starts maybe May or June, but I already set that target. I want to have a fantastic summer. Okay. So I'll just set the target. So reduce customer calls after purchase by 30%. Okay. So you just set the target. Okay. And this target is going to be broken down into all the features that you are going to develop later after completing your strategy. Okay, so and those features, you set metrics for them to be able to track them, to be able to say that, okay, fine, they are actually successful. Okay, so you set the targets, and then you create the assumption. The kind of assumption we created here, that user will no longer need to call customer service center. Okay, it's just an assumption, but that doesn't mean they are going to stop. Okay, but it might actually reduce. Okay, and then it might actually stop. They might actually stop calling customer service center. You might not know. Okay, so you just set the assumption. Okay, just like provide option for fresh produce selection. That's another insight that we got. We put it there. We set a target for it. Increase monthly active users by 25% in the first 3 months. Okay, is a target. Okay, we believe that if we do this, we'll be able to achieve this, right? Then we say, okay, fine, set the assumption. Existing users will be retained and new users added to the platform. We believe that if we put an option for fresh produce selection. New people, new users, new customers will come onto the platform. Okay. And why we made this assumption was that we have read somewhere from our information that we gathered, we have read somewhere that people like fresh produce. We have read somewhere also that people drop off when they are selecting grocery or when they are trying to buy grocery online because they don't get fresh produce. Okay, we have read in. So these are some of the things that you have gathered, the insight. That's how you set your assumptions. Okay, and that's how you set your targets too. Okay, so after doing this, okay, so you can have a list of opportunity, which are insights that you have selected. Okay, you set them to targets, you map them to targets, and then you map them to assumptions. Okay, there can be more. Okay, so this is the strategy. Okay, so we are still going to break down this into what you develop in your execution phase, right? So you set all these things together, and then you move to the final step. Now, the final step is to synthesize, right? So you need to put everything that you have done together, okay, into some kind of document. Okay, so the way for me I do is that I usually have a one slider. Okay, so just one slide to explain my strategy. Okay, then I have that is just like the summarized one. Okay, so if you want to present, obviously to the upper management, okay,
Stakeholders. Yes.
yes, the stakeholders, exactly, yeah. If you want to present to the stakeholders, okay, especially the executives, okay, so you are not going to be flipping slide by slide by slide. Okay, it's important to have something that is summarized, but something that is summarized that also tells a good story, okay, of the problem you are trying to solve, okay, and why you are trying to solve it, okay, and then the result you are expecting, okay, because every stakeholder, whether it is executive or the people, your development team, okay, they want to know why we are doing this, okay, and what we hope to achieve, okay. So when you are synthesizing, okay, you don't necessarily have to do a one slide, okay. So I just mentioned that, okay. So you can do series of slides, okay, but you need to compound everything to describe why you are doing this strategy, why you are solving this thing, okay, and then why you are why you are describing the why, you are bringing the insight, okay, because the insight is what is actually going to be your strategy, okay. So that's the opportunity you want to build. That's basically your product strategy, the opportunity. But you don't get to the opportunity just by typing that, okay, fine, I want to build this. No, you have to gather the information, do the insight, do the selection, and before you get to the opportunity. So you have to do something that is synthesized enough to show your opportunity that you want to build. Why do you want to build it? Okay, how do you want to build it? Okay, you have to do this storytell. Okay, the storytell, and then most importantly, visuals. Okay, so visuals enables you to remember. It enables your product team to remember your vision, your strategy. It enables. So if for me, if I'm looking at this slide, this particular slide, if I look at this particular slide for like maybe probably 30 seconds, if you call me up tomorrow and ask me about synthesize, I might not necessarily remember all the text that that is written on the slide. Okay, but I can remember the figure. Okay, I will be able to remember the infographic that is there. That okay, fine. There's something that is here. There's something that. So you have to put your things in visuals too. Okay, you can use any tools, any icon. Okay, percentage, anything that can make you be able to express your strategy. Okay, that can make you communicate better. Okay, you can use any one of them. Okay, so you synthesize everything together and then you have your product strategy. Okay, so once you now have your product strategy, then you can be able to start breaking down your strategy into the set of opportunity that you have created. Okay, and then from the opportunity, you now start breaking them into the solutions Okay, how do you, so this is the opportunity. What solution do you create? Okay, the opportunity is that I want to make a fresh produce selection, like we mentioned. Okay, so what is the solution? Okay, how do I create it? Okay, then now started bringing from that solution. You have a set of solutions too. Now that is outside your strategy. Okay, so you are breaking down maybe probably some kind of planning. Okay, so that is into planning. So that is scoping and planning. Okay, so you start breaking them down from opportunity to the solution, from the solution into the epics, from the epics into the features that you want to create, from the features into the little user stories. Okay, and then everything is mapped out that way. Okay, but you need to have your strategy. So that strategy will be there, and then you can now create your roadmap on it. Okay, then you now start executing. Okay, so after 3 months, you can review your strategy, you can look at it. Okay, fine, this is what we want to do. Okay, this is what we are currently doing. Okay, so it guides you, okay, along your development. Okay, so that you are not just doing everything here and there. Okay, so that framing is already there for you. So in conclusion, I know I'm a bit off time. In conclusion, I want to say this strategy is hard. Okay, that's just it. Strategy is actually hard. Okay, because what I've discussed with you guys in the past few minutes now might look a bit kind of simple. Okay, but like I mentioned, it's not a day's job, it's not a week's job. Okay, it's something that you do progressively. Okay, at least some, even you might be doing it for a month, 2 months, okay, before you get it, especially in the uh first step. That first step takes a lot, okay, because you have to gather a lot of information. Okay, but like I mentioned, it is hard, but it can also not be made complicated if you follow these steps. Okay, now if you look at these steps now, you can see the arrow that, okay, fine, you are going from gathering the information, you are going to insight, then you are going to selection. Okay, but you can see that if your insight is not so clear, okay, to you, that means you need to gather more information. That's why the arrow is going back. Okay, so if I'm trying to generate insight, I'm not seeing insights, then that means you have not gathered enough information, or you are not gathering the right information. So you can go back and say, okay, fine, what are the information that are key into my product vision? What information do I need to gather? Okay, then if you are able to cross from insight to selection, okay, and then you are trying to select the right insights and you are not seeing it, okay, that means maybe probably, hey, you have not gathered the right information too. So you can always go back, okay, even at goals and assumptions. Okay, so if you are setting the right goals and then it's not resonating, okay, with the insight that you have generated, okay, or it's not resonating with your product vision, okay, then you have to go back and gather the information. Okay, that's how you do it. And then once you synthesize, you try to communicate it to the stakeholders. Okay, so I put here some useful tools that you can use for every step of the way. Okay, so
All right.
for the insights, to generate insights, you can actually use some framework like the value proposition framework. So it's a framework actually. Okay, so you
Okay.
need to read about uh, on how to generate insights from that. Okay, so there is the ARRC. So this eliminates, reduce, raise, and create. Okay, so what that means is that you gather the information, you eliminate some that are not
Yes.
okay, then you remove some, you raise them, and then you create. Okay, so there's a opportunity solution tree also. This is a framework that is actually created by one of the product leaders, arguably in the world. Okay, Teresa Torres. I think he has fantastic books out there. Okay, so she has actually. So she's a product thought leader. Okay, so she created this framework, opportunity solution tree, and it's a nice framework for you to be able to generate insights. There's 3 horizons there. Okay, so there are also some other frameworks and tools that you can use in the selection. Okay, so if you are having issue selecting, okay, you're having difficulty selecting, okay, so you can use some frameworks too. So there's a framework of 70-20-10. This is from Google. So like I read, this is the framework they use in Google. Okay, so 70 just means
Okay.
70 insights of 70% focused on their core work, 20% focused on infrastructure, and 10% focused on other things. There's DHM. Okay, so this DHM framework is used by Netflix. Okay, so that's the framework they use. Okay, so when you're selecting insights, you have to select an insight that fits this three letter word. Okay, so DHM. So D is for to delight the customer. So that insight have to delight the customer. Okay, the H there is that insight, that solution, that opportunity have to be hard to copy. Okay, not that people cannot copy it, not that competition cannot copy it, but it has to be hard to copy. Okay, and then the end there is the margin. Okay, is be able to create incremental margin. Okay, that means if you put it out there today, okay, you will see an incremental margin in maybe most of your metric. Okay, so
Okay.
that's what it's in Netflix. The RISE model, the ICE model, you know that priority framework, okay, trying to score some of the selection, some of the insights you have done. Okay, those are the scoring model. That's the RISE, reach, impact, confidence, and efforts. Okay, so goals and assumption too. Okay, so there are some framework that you can use. So there's a framework D&F, that's discovery and framing. Okay, so right here you don't use the discovery, okay, because of course the discovery is for generating information, but you can use the framing part, okay, of this framework, okay, to actually set your assumptions and goals. Okay, but you can set up workshops too. Okay, you can share a workshop with your stakeholders, your marketing team, even your development team, okay, your risk team, okay, and then set up a goals and adoption workshop. Okay, let them tell you their goals for the products. Okay, and maybe by that time you cannot walk back from the goals and assumptions you get from the workshop. You can walk back to the gathering the information, or you can walk back a bit to the selection to select the right
So
thing and synthesize. And yeah,
so
sorry.
this would also mean that communication is a major part of
Yes,
developing strategy.
yes, communication is the last part and is a major part. Okay, so what is a product you are building without communicating? If you build a product, okay, when you are launching, okay, you have to do what we call all these launch artifacts. Okay, you before you do the launch artifacts, you have to even communicate to your stakeholders. You do some meetings with them. You tell them the goals for that product you want to launch or that feature. Okay, and then you do maybe probably flyers. Okay, and then if it's something that you want to put on the store, maybe if it's a mobile app, you want to put on the iOS or App Store, okay, you have to do release notes. Okay, so that is communication for products that you are building or feature. So same thing for strategy too. If you do your strategy, you have to communicate it to your team. Okay, first, after communicating it to your team, then you communicate it to the larger stakeholders. Okay, that is maybe probably the company at large. Okay, of course, the CEO might not be involved, maybe probably the CPO, if it is a well-structured company, and if it is, of course, that's if it's a large company, okay, and if it's a small startup or maybe probably a scale-up, maybe a scale-up stage company, whereby they at least they have some stakeholders, you have to communicate it. You have to find the product we are building. This is the strategy. Okay, we are going from point A to point B. Okay, and this is how we get there. Okay, because it is important for you to get their buy-in. If you just start building, okay, you will be getting roadblocks from stakeholders. Okay, so imagine you are getting roadblocks from development, and then you are also getting roadblocks from stakeholders. So it's kind of hard. So you have to communicate, okay, and then communication is even part of everything in product management. Okay, so there's this thing, okay, that I also have. It's called stakeholders mapping. Okay, so you need to at every point in time, okay, you need to know what to tell each stakeholders. Okay, so communication is just one of the soft skills that the product person should have. So you can't do all this product strategy and then keep it in your folder and then start developing. No,
Yeah.
you have to communicate it to your team. So that is why it is the last thing you do.
You're right.
And
Thank
then
you so much.
that brings us to the end of this presentation.
Thank you so much, Salvation. Thank you. What an insightful time. I don't know if anyone asked questions yet. We're going to take questions now. You can write them in the comment section, or you can unmute and ask your question. But one of the key takeaways for me about this product strategy session is the fact that we have to keep the product vision at the very, forefront of building strategy, of, the comprehensive plan has to involve the product vision. There's no way around it. Once it's not there, you're building something slightly different from what the company, set out to be in the first place. So thank you so much.
Correct.
Any questions, anyone? Yes, please unmute and ask your question.
Thank you, Salvation, for your presentation. That was quite insightful. I missed some part of it, but it's fine. So my question is for me. So every human being listens with the lens of their reality. So the lens of my reality is that I'm an IT project manager. So could you just, in your words, explain the intersection between project and product as it relates to building a product strategy? I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. So before even touching on how it impacts product strategy, okay, I would like to even first give you the difference, okay, between project and products, okay, or products management and project management, okay. So because there's an intersection, like you mentioned, okay. So project is just project management, okay, is just you want to take an idea, okay, from ideation to launch, okay. That's projects, okay. So you have a timeline, okay, and then you have this thing, okay. Okay, we want to build TikTok, for example, we want to build TikTok. That's our idea, okay. So the project manager say, okay, fine, how do we do this? Okay, what stakeholders do we need? Okay, so what are the engineers we need? What framework? It gets everything, okay. And then you go along the way from that ideation part to the development and then launch. So after launch, there's nothing like project management again, okay. But product management continues after launch, okay, because after launch, you need to manage the product, okay. It's become a product now. You need to manage it. You need to manage your customers. You need to revamp maybe probably some things on the product, okay. You need to release more features, okay. You need to get customer feedback, okay. You need to track revenue. You need to do all these things. That is what product management is. So product management is from ideation to the last day of that product, when that product is no longer in the market or no longer in use. Okay, so it's just like product management is 0 to 10, and project management is from 0 to 6. Okay, so that's how it is. So for the product strategy, okay, it has to be done by a product person. Okay, it has to be done by a product person, because in strategy, you are looking, after looking at the opportunity, you are looking at the solutions, you are looking at how you are going to even kind of manage that product after launch. You are looking at a lot of things. Okay, so that is why it needs to be done by a product manager, or maybe probably a product owner, okay, or maybe a product team, okay, as it's were, okay. It can be done by more than one person, okay. And of course, as an IT project person, you can also be part of it, okay. You can also be part of it when gathering information. You can help with that, okay, because you know what the product vision is, okay. So you can always help with that, okay. So anybody can do it, but it's most significant or important that a product person does that, okay. But there's always that intersection, okay. Only that after the launch, a project manager is not necessarily, because you have delivered the projects, okay, which has now turned to a product. Okay, so the product manager continues managing that product. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Okay, great, cool.
All right, thank you so much, Salvation, for that. So this brings us, this is like the end of the session. Thank you. We'll be launching our product analytics course on March 16, 2024 at Techlytics. We've noticed a significant knowledge gap amongst product managers, both associates, intermediate managers, so most, even senior PMs. So we're launching a product analytics course at Techlytics starting on March 16th, 2024. And there's an early bird price of 90,000 naira. All right. Why product analytics? Because product analytics, like Salvation also, he mentioned about user engagement during this session. Analytics is about analyzing user engagement, data, user data, and behavioral data too. So that's why we're launching our product analytics course. So please hurry, register. It's going to be an insightful and very, very amazing class at techlytics.ng. So thank you so much, Salvation, for this session. We hope to, when we call again, you will answer us, because you mentioned that we should do another class for product framework. So we might just call you again. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me too. Thank you. It has been a nice presentation, nice session, and thanks to everyone that joined the session. I hope you learn one or two things. Thank you.
All right. So to register for our product analytics course, you can go to techlytics.ng/product analytics. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. See you again next time on another episode of Bits and Bytes. Thank you for your attention. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Abiodun. Oh, Adenike joined. Let me stop recording first.